I don't think it is appropriate, and it may be unlawful. The law clearly forbids foreign interference in our elections. Obviously, ours is a democratic system, and we want the voters to choose who it is that represents us. If the president accepts information from a foreign entity about an opponent, he's undermining that democratic principle. As a legal matter, the law forbids accepting campaign contributions from foreign entities or anything of value. So the law here on just receiving information is a little bit murky because someone would have to determine whether the information that he received is of value. You would think that in the circumstances of the 2016 election or an upcoming 2020 election, information about an opponent would be of value and therefore unlawful. Again, it turns on whether what he's heard is a value. If it's a value and it has an impact on his campaign, if his campaign is going to use that information, then he's violated the campaign finance laws. Now we're talking about a political problem, one that Congress could, of course, address in an impeachment proceeding. I think it's very much against the norms and values of the presidency to allow any foreign entity to influence in any way a democratic election for president of the United States, whether or not it's forbidden directly by statutory provision. Well, he's tone deaf, or perhaps he's trying to protect his son, who was involved in the 2016 meeting with the Russians, or perhaps he forgot that he simply said some weeks ago that he would not accept such information in a future election. It seems that he contradicted himself. That's not unusual for this president either. There's very little question on the basis of what the inspector general found that Ms. Conway violated the Hatch Act multiple times by seeking out and naming political opponents and criticizing them publicly while serving in her official capacity. That's a clear violation of the Hatch Act. But of course, now it's a question of what the president or anyone else does with that information. The chance of her being sanctioned or dismissed for having violated the Hatch Act are pretty slim, I would think. Well, these are named officials. Ms. Conway is in a named position. It's different than someone, a functionary at one of our federal entities or agencies making an offhand comment outside the workforce. She's a very visible and public figure who makes public statements for the administration on a regular basis. So I think there's no question that her statements would be subject to the limits of the Hatch Act.